All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the development of this little thing that I'm doing. So, honestly, I don't really have much to talk about. I'm just gonna get right back to work. Sayannor Village. Oh yeah, I've been thinking about taking a break from like this from like the main development stuff and like composing some music. I mean, it'll still technically be developing the project, but it's like different from working on the actual thing, right? Although I think that's probably something I should think about doing a bit later. And for now, I should just stick to this. All right. So, anyways, in case you don't know what I'm currently working on, I am working on a group of cutscenes, well, technically just two cutscenes, but they consist of like 8 animations altogether. The first one is like a very short one that consists of only this first animation here. Very short and sweet. Basically telling the player where to go. And then the second cutscene consists of animations 2 through 8 here. And they play the transition between one cutscene animation and the next is defined by the basically the player pressing A or space if you're playing on keyboard and mouse. So I have these show text nodes that contain a reference to the translation spreadsheet. It currently only has English in it because English is the only language that I know. Because I'm a uncultured English speaking swine. But yeah, if there's demand for it, I could always ask for people to translate. I guess I'm not really sure how I'd approach. Actually, I don't know how I'd approach that. Like, I don't want to just use Google Translate because that's not gonna be the most accurate thing. Probably, it's not gonna take like cultural language idioms into account. I don't think, but I'm like 70% confident that I'll find someone who can do it. Actually, no, I'm only like I'm only like 40%. It depends on the language. Thing is, I do have like friends that speak other languages, but it's like I don't know if they'd want to work on this at all because like they're just friends that I know, and there's like this is like a full-on project. It's kind of like when it's done, it's gonna have paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs of text, and I basically have to pay someone to do it. And I'm technically already waiting for someone to provide some voice clips for the protagonist. Like you know how you like press you like attack and the character goes like yeah in Zelda, or just grunting sounds for like effort or taking damage. I actually have a person who's like offered to help, and I've asked for them to provide those voice clips. They haven't provided them yet, but it's like I did also tell them that it's not a time sensitive thing since this is like a very very long term project. Like I have no idea when this is gonna be done. Like I would be surprised if this took like more than a decade. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. Uh, Anyways, if you're watching this and you want to like get involved somehow, there's always the Discord that you can join. It's hold on, where is it? I think it's like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure why, but this link, it's not turning blue. Then again, I don't feel like opening the actual stream page because I don't want to hear my own voice. But yeah, it's whatever. It's not a urgent thing. Let me know in the comments or in or in the chat if you're like watching this live somehow. If you want to like get involved in the project somehow. Right. What was I doing? Oh, right. Once again, I apologize. I'm probably going to be really quiet this whole time. It's mainly because I'm trying to stay focused. I find that the more I talk, the more I like slow down and stop. Yeah, I acknowledge I'm not the greatest entertainer. I'm mostly doing this for the sake of kind of like a documentation thing. I don't know, it's hard to explain why I'm doing this, why I'm like streaming this. I guess the best way is for me to describe it is that I want people to like know that the project hasn't been oh yeah, that was the way you're sitting. So my reason behind streaming this is to make sure that people know that the project isn't abandoned, that I'm still like actively working on it. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Basically, it's like I'm not a quitter. I do fully intend to do this like into the long game. It could, but yeah, I'm totally prepared to like spend like a decade or more on this. 2 decades is way too long. I'm not gonna do this for two decades. There's no way. There's no way. But hopefully I will have some manner of or some way of like funding the project in some financial aspect at some point. Things I'm not comfortable with setting it up right now. I'm going to wait until like I'm going to wait until I at the very least have like a playable chapter 1 section. I think I mentioned this in an earlier stream, but I want this as the game is coming out, it's going to be released in like chapters, like story chapters. And this to make sure that there's always going to be something coming out every well, hopefully every year. This first chapter is taken like multiple years because has taken multiple years so far because I'm like setting everything up, learning how to use the engine, building like a bunch of backend scripts, But yeah, most of that's already done, so I'm pretty much just doing. Although I'm to be fair, I'm like also I'm like working at all kind of both at the same time. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I wanted to set the mouth up. I should save this guy. All right, this character's mouth is going to toggle between a bunch of textures. It's like it's basically indicate that he's talking. So here his mouth is closed. I think I had like a I thought I had like a partially open texture for that. Not sure if that's good timing. Let's try doubling it. I think that's probably good. Okay, that's probably it for this dude. Let's do something about this guy because he's just kind of staring straight ahead. Little creepy, little unnerving, little unnatural. You know, you should look at people when they're talking to you, right? I'm sure you probably agree with that. Okay, that's a little bit too direct. I mentioned this in an earlier stream, but I usually like to avoid having characters staring directly like with their like turning their head and staring directly at what they're looking at. I usually like to have them looking kind of halfway. Make exceptions to this depending on the circumstance, but yeah, usually I have them looking kind of halfway yonder, and then I fill in the rest of that with their eyes. Well, I think with actually no. Hold on. Let's make this a bit more dynamic. Let's have him start over here. Let's have him look over here in front first. And then as the camera is like, as he's just getting into frame, let's have him change the direction that he's looking. So now he's staring directly at this guy. And then I want him to change direction. And I also don't want him to... So when he's looking at the chief, his head is turned directly at him, which I think is effective. But when he's looking at this guy, I kind of want him to be halfway. And I'm doing that using the interpolation value of the IK look at node. By the way, this IK look at node is not in the vanilla Godot engine. It's actually an add-on. I think it's called SADE, SADE. It should be available as like yeah, it should be in there somewhere. Oh yeah, fun fact, I actually contributed to that particular. I'm the reason this interpolation value exists, because when I first installed the SADE add-on, it was either the IK look at system was either looking directly, was either on or off, it was either inactive or or it was looking straight at the target. Technically, what you can do is just have it on and then you could like just put it in a position where it's like halfway. But it's easier to be able to just put it wherever you want the player to look at, and then say, I don't want it to look directly at it, just kind of halfway, and then let the computer calculate that halfway sort of look direction, which is basically what this IK look at node is for. That's the only change that I made to the SADE add-on. I actually had to justify this to one of the developers. He's like, I don't see the point of this, and I told him basically what I'm using it for, and then I thought, if I'm using it, other people might want it, and then he's like, yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's my story of how I contributed to a project, like an actual thing that exists that you can download, which I'm kind of proud of. Only thing is, there is kind of like, I don't know if it's a bug, but it's like, it makes the neck bone, additional bone name necessary. It's not a huge deal, like it's not a game-breaking thing, but by default, the when you turn the IK system on, it uses like the it uses like the default neutral position of the head to position the physical location of the bone when when IK is active, and that caused that thing where the character's head would like float up above his body when and not match up with the actual position, or like it wouldn't follow the animation basically when the IK was active. But this makes it work. All right, enough talking. I'm doing that thing where I talk and then I slow, and then it causes the progress to slow down. Mm. Sorry, phone notification. All right, what do I animate next? Probably the eyes. Oops. Not that one. Hmm. So I don't have any diagonally facing eyeball textures. So I have like left, middle, right. I guess this is technically left, but it's like in the direction that the character is facing. This is going to be right, then up and down. I don't have like any diagonal ones. I don't know. Should I make one? Should I make some of those? I feel like they're not really necessary. Maybe I'll just have. Problem is, I'm not sure if I should use the downward facing ones or if I should have the eyes looking kind of to the left. I think this is a bit more appropriate since he's like standing above him, but that means that I have to adjust the position of. Maybe I should turn this up all the way. That's a bit too extreme. No, it was fine before. You know, I'll just use the one where he looks down. See, the thing is, when you view it from here, which is like what the player sees, you kind of assume that he's looking directly at him, and you can't really tell that he's not really looking at him. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And if I do like that, if I do, if I do this, then he's not looking at the camera anymore, and I'll have to adjust the camera I'll have to change the position of the camera to compensate for that. And I don't think it's worth getting hung up over whether the whether the like the whether the direction that the player's head is facing is accurate to where it should be, especially when you can't really see where he's looking. Also, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of games you kind of use hacks like this during cutscene animations. Like the characters look at things that aren't there, or into positions where you know kind of what I mean. And then they'll like teleport around slightly just to get them in quite in the right position, because the animators don't feel like accurately animated to the correct position. If you think about it, it makes sense why they do that. It's a good way of saving time, and the player just doesn't notice it. You can't see it. The player doesn't care. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. When the player sees this, they're going to assume that he's looking at this character. They're not going to know any better. All right. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get this. Let's make it so that he blinks. All right. Let's test this out. Oh yeah, part of the reason why I wanted to compose some music is because this cutscene might have some unique music that plays only during it. Oh, I just realized my headphones aren't plugged in, so that blasted it out of my speakers. There you go. Wouldn't be surprised if the mic picked that up. Hmm. Yeah, this didn't work. Weird. So his eyeball texture has changed as expected, but okay. So yeah, this error message is directly related to that. Node not found. Carothian cheat. IK look at interpolation relative to. Okay. Actually, no, I don't think it's related to that. Hey, his mouth is open. Alright, let's make sure that is fixed. Hmm. Okay, let's try that again. Hmm. This character is not turning his head. I'm not sure why. Yeah, why isn't it working? Oh, I think I'm animating the wrong node. Okay, I'm not sure if that's gonna fix it or not, but let's give it a shot. No, he didn't turn his head. Why isn't he turning his head? I don't understand. Is something preventing him? You see the problem, right? So when I tested the scene out by running it, this character, well, his eye texture changes like that, but his head doesn't actually turn. So it's turning now in the editor, but when I click play, it doesn't do that thing. Don't know why. Not gonna lie, it's a little frustrating because I have no idea why it's not work, like why that is. The animations seem fine. Is it because of this? There's something wrong here? I don't know, but I'll just copy whatever I got here. Oh, whoops. Oh, crap, no. I don't think this should matter. I can't rule it out. Okay, let's see if he turns his head. Let's see. I think he should. No. He should have turned his head during the previous animation. But he's just gonna be staring straight ahead. At least with his face. Yeah, that's. Oh, I think I know what's going on. What's going on is the script is interrupting, is preventing the. Okay, so this NPC look at player host script or node has a script attached to it that dynamically makes it so that the character looks in the direction of the player when the player gets close. But this is also the problem is that this is also active during the cutscene, and I don't want that to be the case. So in order to fix that, what do I gotta do? Hold on, let me look at the script just to see if I can find out what's going on. I think that should solve the issue. Wait, no, I don't have to do that. I could just. Someone's playing Dark Souls 3. Man, that game came out like... Man, what year is it? Whoa, it's been 8 years. Holy crap. I remember when that game was just coming out. Oh, that's crazy. I was like all excited for it. I saw gameplay of it. It was it's from what I could tell, it was a massive improvement over Dark Souls 2. And it was. But man. Okay, let's test my theory to see if that is correct. But if my assumption about what was causing the issue is correct. Oh, he's turning his head. Can't really see it very well. Yeah, and now he's looking at the chief. Okay, very good. Thinking of disabling the ability for the player to skip the text. All right, let's test it out. And like, require the player to see all the text in the text box before skipping. I have a feeling it's not working. Yeah, it's not working. Hmm. Okay, so if activate was just released. I need to debug this script because I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on, the output wasn't visible. Only got a few minutes left. I might have to fix this tomorrow. Hmm. Oh, yep. And there's the problem. At least I think so. I hope that's the problem. Well, it kind of works a little bit better. All right, let's test it out. It might not have changed at all. Okay, so clicking skip doesn't actually skip it. Oh. What if I move this down here? Let's try it out. Oh, it's still not working. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna see what happens if I disable allow skip. Just to see if that works properly. I'm technically overtime. And like I said, I might have to stop and continue tomorrow. Okay. Skipping doesn't work. All right, that's good. Hey, skip works now. All right, that is good. Nice to end on a high note, even though I'm not really done yet. I also noticed that when the last animation in the cutscene plays, it kind of abruptly transitions back to the game, and I think it might be smart to have some sort of fade out that plays. And then I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. Maybe I'll have the character's path back over here, or basically say, or have them say in like a gameplay sequence, meet us by the exit when you're ready to go. I don't know. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Anyways, have a good night. See you later.